Alright guys, welcome to another Brolylegs teaches you how to, etc. Today we're going to be talking about footsies and neutral. And I wanted to do it in a replay analysis form. I feel like it's very hard to just capture this in a training room. Many players are kind of tasked to learn footsies and aren't able to do it just straight up in training mode because they need that partner, right? They need that sparring partner to help them get it or go into casual ranked matches. And learning like that is kind of hard. So I want to use this video as a way to help you improve on understanding the mentality of what neutral is, what footsies are, and how to place well-placed normals. Now, before I know where this is going, I know where the memes are going. I get it. It's Chun standing heavy punch. I get it. But I'm gonna show you guys mainly the way through Chun's point of view, and it's gonna consist of the 2 rounds that we play. And I'll try to break it down as slow as much as possible. I don't want this to be a 40-minute video because I want y'all to get, you know, I want you guys to want to watch this. So, if you have questions, please comment below. And if you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe to the channel. I do these not on a scheduled basis, but I do this whenever I have the time to do it. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is understand, first we put in the usual key display and attack data because we want to know frame data. We want to know how negative and how positive things are. But let me get you guys into the mentality part of this. When I play a character, doesn't matter, even if it's not Chun, and I'm going to try to be as general as possible. Even though I'm playing Chun, I want this to be a general footsie thing, so this could help out all you characters, right? Even you Dan players that are out there, I want to help you guys out too. So, the first thing that I try to do is establish a distance or how far my footsies will go past my opponent. Now, I'm fighting against Cody, right? So, I know that I have the footsie superior, or I have the reach far superior than he does. So, I don't need to walk ahead as much as he does. Okay, now I'm gonna go over the first move I go into, and we're gonna be talking about it in length and try to chop it up as much as we can. So the first thing that I do is I go for sweep. Okay, now pay attention to when and where I do sweep. All right, or crouching heavy kick for those that don't know. I don't aim this button at Cody. I aim it at where Cody could be or where the buttons might be. Okay. This is more or less something that I tend to do when it comes to footsies or buttons that are pretty negative or even punishable. I don't want him to block this move. I want him to run into this move. I want this to crush counter, right? This is a form of footsies that you're looking to whiff punish something. It's not something that's like accidental, and it's not something that you're trying to do on purpose. It's more of a feeling out kind of response, kind of something that shows that, hey, I don't want you walking forward. This covers dashing up, this covers walking forward, and this covers some footsie buttons that he might be pressing far away. It's a very safe option. The only thing that loses to this, or that beats this, is a well-placed jump or timed jump in, or a dash up close. So again, I don't want this to be blocked. I want this to be run into. So I do these kind of sweeps that are kind of mid-range. Again, trying to capture a button, trying to hit something so that I can get the knockdown or the crush counter, right? Good crush counter move, good thing to use from far away. Now let's continue on. Now, if you can pay attention to this real quick, I should have done this right here, okay? So, what I do is after my move resolves, and it's not resolved yet, it resolves here. What I'm doing here is now I'm taking a step back. This is probably one of the most important things that I want to show you about footsies and neutral. This is some way to get out of letting him be in the advantage or in the driver's seat, right? He's walking toward me. I don't want to have to take some kind of plus on block like any of his short buttons or a stab middle kick. So I take a step back. I'm going backwards, right? And how important is that? Is that movement, that small movement going backwards? Watch. It actually makes him whiff this damn middle kick, right? Now you could be saying, well, okay, you block that middle kick from far, it's not that bad. True, but you don't want him to gain any kind of confidence, and you also don't want him to be pushing you back too much. Yeah, I'm going backwards, but I'm evading his footsie, which allows me to respond in kind with a fierce punch. Now, did this do anything? No, it didn't really like change the game, didn't hit him, but you have to understand is that the point of the game, or one of the sub kind of goals of the game, is to push each other to the corner, right? That's where you gain the most advantage. And so footsies is very much like that, right? And so me evading his middle kick and delivering a stand heavy punch allows me to say, hey, I'm going to fight for my ground too, right? I'm not willing to just give it up. A lot of players that have trouble with footsies tend to like run away and back off a little too much, or want to get into fireball really fast. I'm not that kind of player. I like to, really push down on my ground game and have something that can gain respect of this Cody. I don't want this Cody to get up to me. I know my weakness is to be up close, and I know his strength is to be up close. So I have to fight for the ground. And so, as we continue on, you're going to see that we're still kind of fighting the neutral game. Now, you're going to see me get knocked down right here. And my goal, and the thing that is very important, is that I don't want to lose that ground. Even though that I'm getting backed up into the corner, I don't want to run from him. I want to stand right here and still establish my footsies. I still want to establish some kind of neutral game to where it makes it harder for him to put me in the corner. Okay? Now that I got that, I got a punish, I got a knockdown, and now guess what? I'm now in the driver's seat. Now I get to push him back into the corner, right? This all stems from me standing my ground and being willing to take a block, being willing to bait something, because your opponent may throw in a sweep, may throw in something very punishable, like this Cody did, and allow yourself to get some kind of punish that can push them to the corner, right? If I was far away, if I wasn't willing to footsies, if I was out of position, I wouldn't have been able to get this. So it allows me to get closer, allows me to push forward, and now he's backing up, right? You saw how that Cody was backing up too. He's got to respect the fierce punch. Now what you're supposed to do is when you block this fierce punch, now I'm going to go the other side, right? I'm going to be a traitor to Chun right now. What you're supposed to do is when you block this fierce punch, you are plus. And so what you're supposed to do, instead of trying to press a button here, you want to try to walk up a little bit, right? Because the thing is that you want to gain ground to Chun. You want to gain that ground so that you can find something that will work to your advantage. Maybe she'll jump away, maybe they'll be forced to jump in, maybe they'll do a fireball or something negative, and you want to be able to work your way in, throwing in your normals. Now the unfortunate thing is that he wanted to respond with a kick, and that's okay. That's not the end of the world. But guess what? Now it's my turn again. And so instead of him gaining ground, he's starting to lose more ground. Nice whiff punch there. And let's talk about that whiff punch real quick. So him again backing off right here. Because he backed off, now it changes the spacing. Now certain options don't become available for me. Now it's like I can't do stand heavy kick, and I can't do crouching middle punch. Unfortunately, I do. And because he took that step back and opened the spacing a little bit, yeah, he's losing some ground, but he's also kind of baiting me into pressing something that I don't want to press, or I shouldn't be pressing, and that allows him to get a whiff punch. Right? So movement in neutral is very important. It's very ideal to get the right spacing so that you can either counter your opponent when you're looking for a counter, to give them the opportunity to opening the door for them to press something, or to close the gap to kind of give them that pressure to feel it out. And that's the two kinds of routes that you can go. You can open it up or you can close the gap. And fortunately, that's what caught me off guard with that crouching middle punch. I was expecting him to come closer, and instead he went back, and so that caught me, which is really, really, really strong. Okay, and goes for the crouching, the B skill 2 under the fireball. Now, before we continue on, I do want to even though he has an option and even though he has a tool to go under fireball, I'm not convinced to drop the fireball yet. I still need it because it's very important to my game. Even though he got this, he's already done this 3 times. One of them got punished. So it's one of those things where you kind of live and die by it. Look at the damage. Is it major? No. And what I got from it was a major, somewhat. Right? I got to push him out of the corner. So even though I'm getting hit by this, I'm not deterred by it. Because I want him to be pressing things. I want him to make this mistake. So now continuing on, missed the anti. Now this is unfortunate. This really has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Basically, when you're in that scramble mode, you want to look for that light attack to get those punishes going, especially when it was a missed anti-air. Now, that was the thing that was kind of annoying, was that the reason why I don't advance and I don't press big buttons when I'm on the back heel, or like when I'm backing up, basically back on my heels is what they usually say. I'm expecting a jump. Unfortunately, I pressed the wrong button for this jump. I should have done back heavy kick, and I got stand heavy kick. Fortunately for me, it missed, and we were able to get him to the corner. And so once we got him down to the corner, once we got things going on, we were able to put some pressure on him. Now let's talk about this situation right here. Okay, so we got him knocked down. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get like a solid meaty in this situation. So this is a -2, and this is something that's very important, very key to what it comes down to being in neutral, being in footsies. Okay, this is something that a lot of players have trouble, and you're gonna see this a lot more in round 2. But so I'm -2 after that. I keep unpausing there, but I want to pause on that. There's no. I wish there was a rewind button. There's no rewind button that goes frame by frame. So after this, I'm -2. Okay, I know it's his turn. I have to relinquish everything. I don't have meter. I only have V reversal. I don't have to do anything here. So I'm gonna let him do whatever he wants. Okay. So he does crouching light punch. He's +2, and then he takes a step back and gets +3. Now, the reason why he took a step back was basically he was baiting me to go for a throw, to take the throw. And this is why it's so important to take the throw in this situation. Because once you know you're -2, you kind of, like, look at the life totals, right? I can take a throw. I could take a couple throws. I don't mind taking that throw here. Because I know that I can just get up and I'll be fine. There's no mix-up that I'm really worried about. There's no kind of danger or anything like that. So I'm willing to take this throw. So I'm willing to just kind of chill. Now I do go for the tick throw, as you can see, but I do it at a certain time where, like, it's during the block stun kind of. So like it's like kind of like a just in case I do get thrown or something. So it's really well timed. It's not something that I'm really worried about, but I'm willing to take this block string because, again, I'm willing to take the throw. He goes for the V trigger, and again, he was +18 before that throw. So let's kind of break it down real quick, and then we'll move on after this. So he's +4, +18, okay? And now he's at 0 because, so now I'm -18 right here. He can do whatever he wants, right? And so because he can do whatever he wants, and because I don't have any meter, I have a couple options. I could go for V-shift, but I'm technically still in a block string, so I can't do anything. I could V-reversal this, but I think I'm going to waste meter, because if I'm willing to take the throw, why am I going to V-reversal, right? So I'm willing to take the throw. Fortunately for me, I was able to get the jab because he kind of waited a little too long. He took a step forward, which kind of triggered me to go to jab, and I was able to, like, push him away, right? Go into my V trigger, reset the neutral, and then we escape with the win. Okay. So what's very important to understand here in this case, and you're gonna see a lot of this in this next round, is staying your ground, like standing in position, not moving too much away from what you're supposed to do. First thing I do here is what? Walk forward, right? Because I'm just going right into the spot I need to be. Now I'm in Fierce Punch range. Now I know where I need to be so that I can fight this, neutral off and not give him any extra footing that he needs. So go for the stand heavy kick. Fortunately, give me a crush counter, and I get the combo after that. I didn't want to go for EX legs, so I missed that right there. But okay, so this is very important now. So went for the sweep again. I didn't aim for where he was. I was aiming for if he would press a button. Unfortunately, he pressed it way after me, so he got a whiff punish. Very good. He didn't get the combo it, which is kind of unfortunate, but still. Okay, so he walked up and did another Crouching Fierce. I know it's negative, so I need to respond. Okay, I responded there with his Fierce Punch. He backed away. That's fine. I am not, again, willing to like move in too closely. I'm not willing to jump. I don't need to. I have this, superior stance right here. I am fully in control of the neutral right now. So as long as I don't let him walk up for free, I'm fine. And so look at when I press buttons. Okay, this is something that's really key to what I'm supposed to do. Push him away when it's negative, and then press a button, and then I wait. Then I press a button, and then I wait. Why do I wait? Because I'm expecting a jump. A perfect example is like when a mosquito is biting you, and the mosquito bites you. What is your response? You usually want to smack it, right? You want to get it away. And that's kind of the same thing I'm trying to apply here. Every time I punch him, I'm kind of trying to get a reaction, right? Something to respond with. Whether it's a jump, whether it's EX bingo, whether, dash, something. So I'm always prepared because I know 100% that when this lands, I don't get anything out of it. Unless I have super, I don't get anything. There's no follow-up, there's no combo, there's nothing. So why do I need to keep going, right? I can just go back into position and wait, because I'm winning, and I'm frustrating him. Okay? Frustration, right? Frustration. And I'm just frustrating him. But the problem here is, I was waiting for the jump the whole time, and I just didn't pull the trigger. This is just reaction. This is just bad reactions. That's all it is. Because I was looking at him on the ground for too long and kind of fell asleep on the wheel when it came to anti-airs. Fortunately for me, I blocked it, but still, you don't want to be in that position. And I take the throw. Now, I will say I should have probably backdashed one of these throws, but again, my health is fine. We're fine. I got full meter and full V trigger, so I'm willing not to take anything too crazy. Went for the V reversal just to get him off, and he actually threw, so I was like, whatever. Took another throw. Now I'm waiting. So now what happens here is, look, all these middle punches he's doing are actually jabs, are plus. Oh, this is middle punch. Plus. But I gotta wait till he's away from me. Now that he's away from me, now the distance is far enough to where now I can press the button. Now I can go for something. And I went for an activate. Crouching middle punch, activate V trigger, just to gain some distance. Okay? Fortunately for me, my flip kick got me over him, which allowed me to combo him, and then I have full, I got full control right here. Okay, went for the meaty, because he has no wake up, and then we're back into neutral, back into the footsie game. This time I went for a jump. Now, I believe this is my first jump I ever tried. And again, first jump, you don't want to jump. Always, you don't want to. You do want to test your opponent. This is something I tell my students all the time. You do want to test your opponent. So, allowing yourself to go for this, because we were able to get out of this corner using crouching middle punch, using the flip kick to get into here. Although, albeit it was lucky, right? Working him on the ground, and then setting up, right? This is the setup right here. Being in this position makes him think footsie, right? Footsie. He's going for fierce punch. And because of that, because I made him believe footsie, because I conditioned him with footsies, with ground game, with fierce punch, I was given this jump. And then he was unable to block. He was actually trying that anti-air, missed the button, and I was able to get the kill. So, even though we covered a little bit about jumps at the end, that is also very integral to neutral, because all of this groundwork, all of this help that we talked about with positioning, we talk about spacing, we talk about uh, button pressing, basically on rhythm. Not really. You don't want to do it consecutively. You want to do it, hit and run kind of thing, like a hit and wait. Just pokes. That's what literally what pokes are. Fierce Punch is a poke. It's not a combo. It's not something you cancel off of. It's a poke. And so because I'm poking him, I'm trying to get a reaction out of him, especially when I hit him. And I got a reaction. Unfortunately, I just didn't get the anti-air. But that's what neutral's all about. What you do with your character is you move in to the right spot. Whether you want to try to be outside the spot that outside the range of your opponent. A lot of times you're not gonna have the footsie advantage. You're not gonna have the reach advantage against your opponent. So what you have to do is you have to be able to try to inch your way in, and not get desperate, not get too reckless when it comes to approaching in with jumps or dashes. You just have to bide your time, take your time, allow some blocks to happen, and get a rhythm of your opponent. Once you get a rhythm of your opponent, it allows you to freely press buttons and allows you to close the gap. And so yeah, this is something I know Chun-Li has very good footsies, so it's easy to talk about hers. But all this stuff can be helpful on any character, right? It's just about movement and understanding how a person moves, how a person presses their buttons at the right time, at the right space. Once you get an idea of that, you're able to make changes, make adaptations, and close the gap on your opponent, and not feel so pressured when it comes to blocking so many things. Hopefully this helps out. Let me know if it helps out or if it's something you want to work on. You can also sign up with sessions with me if you want to work on your footsies. You can always sign up with me at metafy.gg/@Brolylegs. I will put a link in the description. I plan to do more of these videos. Let me know what other kind of video you want me to teach you, and we'll work on that. Hopefully this helps out, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.